All right, here's an intro to strength of materials. So I'm David Kidd, and there's my office and email and phone number. Especially if you're online, you can email me with questions if you have them. You can always attach PDFs if you need to do sketches and stuff. Here's office hours, but anytime you can catch me. If I'm free, I'm happy to help you out. Classes every day of the week from 1 to 2 in I-8225. Tuesday is often a recitation. We might use it to cover new materials sometimes, but we often do some recitation on Tuesday too. All right, so what we're going to do in this class is take what you learned in statics and apply it to structural members, as they're called. And we're going to go inside of the members and find the internal forces and stresses and deformations and strains. So here are the outcomes for this class. This is what you should be able to do when we're done with the class. So you should have had statics to be here. We do a little bit of integration here, so integral calculus. The book is the Strength of Materials notes from the bookstore. It would be good to have a Strength of Materials text as well. Any Strength of Materials text, any edition would be fine. The notes cover what we cover in class very thoroughly, but this is a very big subject and the notes aren't comprehensive for everything in strength of materials, so I think you should have a full textbook too. I use two grading systems. In both cases, exams are 85% and homework is 15%. I use either system 1 or 2 here to get your final grade, and then I just grade on a straight percentage. So in system 1 here, all the midterms count the same. In system 2, the final counts a bit more. All right, this class prepares you for a professional work environment, so we expect you to act in a professional way. Should be attending and participating in class, showing respect for everybody in the class, keep a good learning atmosphere, and focus on the subject matter. If there's any issues that come up that you might need to miss some time, just let me know beforehand if that's 2 or more classes. That way we can work through and hopefully work out ways of working through that. Okay, here's the schedule right there. Here's some stuff that are expected of employees. Pretty good list for being in school as well, so I like to include it on my syllabi. Few things here. If you need any accommodations due to disabilities, just let me know and we'll work through that and get that set up. Here's an anti-discrimination statement from the college. I think that boils down to just treating people decently regardless of where they're coming from. I think we've got lots of differences here on campus, and that's fine. And we should just learn how to work with people who might be different than us. Also, I've got a statement here on academic honesty. I encourage you to work with other people together on your homework, but everyone should do their own independent work. That goes for homework and certainly for tests. So any cheating on homework or tests will result in a 0 being assigned for the grade. Both people who cheat and people who aid other students in cheating will be given 0. Okay, the final exam is Tuesday, 2:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon, especially for online students. If you have problems with that, let me know and we can figure something out for it. Okay, the exams, I don't have a specific date for them yet, but midterm 1 is usually late week 4 or in week 5 at some point. Midterm 2 is late week 8 usually, maybe even early week 9. I'll give you 1 week's notice on the midterms, so you'll have advance notice of them. All right, I expect you to turn in the work with a certain format. Here's the explanation of that. This is a handout in Moodle, as is the syllabus. Okay, so I'd like your work neat and organized and legible that can be followed by somebody else. I'd like you to use a straight edge. Put all the answers to a problem in 1 box, 1 problem per page. Draw up your own sketches. Just get used to making simple sketches. The idea here is there's certain types of work expected by an engineer. Things are expected to look professional and be legible and easily followed. So that's how I'd like you to do your homework. So on the top, I'd like your name, the date, problem number, and page number. You can write a summary of the problem statement. You don't need to write out the whole thing. simple line sketch with a straight edge, work through the problem so that someone just reading it can follow it, and then box in all of your answers to a problem. Okay, just some advice for the class. Here's one, what have you learned this year at Oregon State University? Showing up for class is pretty important. So, please come to class and engage, learn in an active way. That's the best way to learn. If you're online and doing the class online, set up a schedule so you're watching all the sessions at a regular time so you're keeping up with that, okay? Here's a headline. This happened, I think, in about 1999, I think. What happened was we were working on a Mars rover. The operations team might have used metric, the design team, I think, used metric, and the operations team thought they were in the English system of units, and as a result, they crashed the rover, okay? So what we want, I would like you to show units and just organize your work to avoid things like that. Here's a movie that my daughter used to watch quite a lot of, and there's the two romantic leads on top of the surfboard, and the one romantic lead, Mac here, she's kind of the brains of the operation, and at one point she tells her friend Brady, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Okay, so as a teacher, my job is to explain it, but your job as a student is to understand it. And the way you understand it is you work through the stuff on your own, you engage your mind in figuring the stuff out, and that's how you process the information and learn it and figure it out. Okay, so I'd like you to attend class, engage in the class actively, do your homework, work at it independently. If you have questions, ask them. Study all the time, keep up, and find a good study group to work in. All right, so that's just some information there regarding the class and succeeding in the class.